welcome again in the microeconomics class. And here I'm going to discuss with you about the graph of the law of diminishing marginal utility. I repeat again that law of diminishing marginal utility is a concept, it is the law which is related with the utility concept, that if we consume continuously the same thing, its additional satisfaction, the satisfaction which we receive from the consumption of the additional units will decline. जिस तरह हम कहते हैं कि घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर, why we say that the chicken which we have at our home is like the dal, because we are repeatedly eating it. So you cannot enjoy the same thing. So the law of diminishing marginal utility does not apply with the wealth. More you earn the wealth, more satisfaction you will receive. There are different limitations that where this law does not apply. The law does not apply with the wealth. The more you earn, the more you will feel satisfied. It does not apply with the love. The more love you receive, the more satisfied someone feels. The law of diminishing marginal utility does not apply with the hobby of the antiques or any hobby. The more you receive, just like the people who gather the antiques or the coins, old coins, or different things which are historical types of the things. The more they collect these types of the items, the more satisfied they feel. So that's why, and drugs, the law of diminishing marginal utility also does not apply with the drugs. The more people take the drugs, the more satisfied they feel, though there is a limitation. And to achieve the exact results of the law of diminishing marginal utility, the good must be suitable, the size of the consumption must be suitable, the income of the person does not change, the taste of the person does not change. So these are the different things that when you are talking about the law of diminishing marginal utility, you have to consider these factors. So this is the utility schedule. Through this table, I have tried to explain the law of diminishing marginal utility, that when someone has not consumed any glass of the water or any product, without consuming you cannot enjoy anything, you cannot receive any satisfaction. So there is a 0 total utility and 0 marginal utility. When you are going to consume the first glass of the water, it means suppose, it's not me to decide that how much satisfaction the person who is consuming the glass of the water or drinking the glass of water is receiving the satisfaction. But for the understanding purpose, we are simply using that we say that first glass of water is giving 10 utils to a person who is drinking. Means when we start from the 0, then this one is the second one. Means how much satisfaction we have received from the consumption of one more unit. From 0 to 1 means one additional unit. So this is the 10 is the additional. Usually we write just like this one. So when first class gives 10 total, how to calculate the marginal utility? Change in total utility divided by change in quantity. This is the one of the method that how you can calculate the marginal utility of additional unit. You can use the change in the total utility divided by change in the quantity. If we say suppose that now this one, what is the change in the total utility? Change is 10 from 0 to, previously it was 0, now it is 10. So the change in total utility is 10 divided by the change in quantity from 0 to 1 means change now 1 change. Means from 0 to 1 means there is a change of 1 unit. What will be what is the result? 10 is the marginal utility. Or you can also use this formula that new total utility minus old total utility gives you the marginal utility, which we have used here. To calculate the marginal utility of the second class of the water, you can say suppose change in the total utility divided by change in the quantity from 1 to 2 and from 10 to 17. What is the change? How much change occurred when we have consumed the second class? Consumption of the first class we have 10, now it becomes 17. So what is the difference? 7 is the change in the total utility divided by change in quantity. From 1 to 2 means there is a change of 1 unit. So again 7, which we have already calculated 7. If you want to calculate this one, the marginal utility, change in total utility when we are consuming the third class. What is the change? Previously 17, now 22. So there is a change of 5 divided by change in the quantity from 2 to 1. So this is another way to explain or to calculate the marginal utility. That by applying this formula, that the change in total utility divided by change in quantity will give you the concept, the amount of the marginal utility we receive. We can also use the graph for the explanation purpose. Well, horizontally we simply write the quantity glasses of water. You can use any other product. Whatever the product you can use, it depends on your choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is a 0. And the marginal utility 5, 10. Let's start again from 1 by 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Just suppose this is the total utility, marginal utility. Now let's start from 0. When there is no consumption, person is not used or taken any glass of the water, it means there is no concept of the total and the marginal utility. We will try to draw the same, both graphs on this one, the total utility and the marginal utility graphs. Take the example 1, that when the person has consumed the first glass of water, what is the total utility? Is the total utility. When the person is consumed the second glass of the water, what is the total utility? 17. When the person is consumed the third glass of the water, what is the total utility? 22. You can see the speed of the rising. When the total person is consumed the fourth glass of the water, what is the total utility? Same, 22. When the person is consumed the fifth glass of the water, first, second, third, fourth, received the fifth glass of the water, the person has received -3. It means the fifth means 19. 19. Sorry, 20 here, 22, 24, 26, 28 and 30. Let me repeat it again. That when person is consumed the first glass, we have the 10. When the person is consumed the second, we have the 17. When the person is consumed the third glass, we have 22, which is here. When the person is consumed the fourth glass, again we have 22. Means same, there is no change. When the person is consumed the fifth glass, we have the 19. It means there is a reduction or decline in the total utility and so on. So if you connect these lines, this is total utility curve or total utility line. Now we use the data for the marginal utility. That when the person has consumed the first glass of water, what is the marginal? 10. So marginal and total is same when person is consumed the first. When person has consumed the second, what is the marginal? You can see there is the 7 here. And when the person has consumed the third glass, what is the marginal? 5, 2, 4, 5. When the person is consumed the fourth one, what is the marginal? 0. When the person is consumed, below this 0 is negative. The person is consumed the fifth glass of water, we have -3 marginal. So -3 here. So if you connect this one, this is the marginal utility line. So through this way, we draw the graph of the marginal and total utility. It looks like this one. That initially you can see that marginal utility or the total utility line is rising. It increases. The marginal utility will rise until the total utility is increasing. So you can see up to this point, up to third glass of the water, total utility line is rising, increasing. At the fourth, the consumption of the fourth glass is giving no additional satisfaction, that's why there is no increase. Both are giving the same. And when the total utility is negative, Or you can say that total utility line will rise until the marginal utility is in positive. Means up to this point the marginal utility is in positive, means increasing. Person is receiving some sort of the utility. So that's why this line is increasing. And fifth one has given the negative, and the fourth one has given the zero. So there is no any increase. So this is the marginal utility and total utility graph. That law of diminishing marginal utility states that whenever we consume more of anything, the marginal or total utility of that thing will decline. So I hope you have understood this concept. In the coming classes, we will discuss the indifference curve. So thank you for watching.